All right, ladies and gentlemen. We are in here now with a WWL match, as you guys can see from the title, hence why a lot of you are here right now. So, trying a little bit of something different. I'm going to be streaming on YouTube now. Instead, I came from Twitch a little bit, but I don't know. I'm just giving it a little bit of a try, seeing how it does. I kind of like the whole setup that they got here. Anyways, back on point. We got a match tonight. It is Fluid Nation versus OSGS. It is going to be... I think it's going to be a good match. You can see their records right above me floating across the screen. OSGS, they are seed number 12 in the playoffs with a 6-2 record in the regular season. This now being the playoffs, in case you guys are not privy to that information. This is round 2. Both teams got buys in the first round. And here we are. Fluid Nation, on the other hand, they got a 7-1 win-to-loss ratio. And currently, while this is being filmed, we have only one more person waiting to join from OSGS, I do believe. But yeah, let me get the maps real quick for you guys. Tonight, it is going to be starting it off real nice and hot on some Crossroads Strike. Everyone that I've seen in the pro scene absolutely detests this map because it is so small. But I know that some people do like that about the map, in fact, that it doesn't, unlike a lot of the other maps, take you a lot of time to get to the different objectives. And it's a lot of gunfights all the time. You're just constantly getting into fights. And it definitely does lend itself to be a very, I would say, gunfight-dependent map where the team that has the better gun skill usually does win the map. But it does have a lot to do with lane control as well, as there are a lot of really open sight lines that you can use to control the map very, very easily. As I'm sure we're about to see right here, right now. The game is pretty much about to be getting started here. Everyone is present. Just checking on in here. Yes, indeed. We are pretty much more or less ready to go. In case you guys haven't seen me before, I am Kamika, and I've been casting a few things for not just WWL, but a couple of other things as well. It seems that we have a little bit of a random person join the lobby, but it's whatever. Everyone's just making sure that everyone is ready. I'm just going to let them know that I am ready so that we can get going any time now. But yeah, back to my introduction. I'm a caster. I've been doing things from LANs to online and all that stuff. If you guys want to see some more matches for a bunch of different leagues, including WWL, you can check the description for all my links. Anyways, don't forget to go and check out all the other teams up in here. Fluid Nation, owned by Fluid Gaming. I think this is their B team, but also doing a pretty dang good job. Their brother team has already made it to round number 3, and I think they are pretty dang close to undefeated right now, as they are. So, yeah, Fluid Nation, owned by Fluid Gaming. Go and give them a little bit of love on Twitter and all the other social medias as well. OSGS is OSGSGG on Twitter, so go and give them some love. I think they are a little bit of a newer org than Fluid Gaming, and I'm sure that they would love the support regardless. So, yeah, it looks like everyone is pretty much more or less ready, so let's get on into the match that we're about to see here. Crossroads Strike is like I said, it's a very condensed map compared to the other ones that we are probably going to see tonight. Let me just give a quick run through of the matches that we're going to see tonight. Actually, this is a very small map set tonight. It's going to be Crossroads, then Garrison, and then Raid. So, these maps are definitely not big by any means, but they're also, yeah, Crossroads is definitely the smallest, where Garrison is probably medium, and Raid is probably about, I would say, the same size as Garrison. So, yeah, Crossroads Strike going to be getting in here on this first one, as you will soon see on your screen in just a couple seconds. Yeah, Crossroads Strike. Here we go. Frozen Tundra does lead itself to be very, very bloody battleground for a lot of teams that we've seen so far. And I know that it has a lot of love and a lot of hate from pretty much everyone in the scene. It is a very controversial map because of that. But regardless of how people view it, you still gotta play on it occasionally. And we're gonna be seeing them getting right on in here right now. We're gonna get in with J-Dog-God as he explodes after getting an initial kill. Triggy gonna be trying to get up in here and do a little bit of damage on the objective, just soaking up all this hill time, just like a sponge. He's soaking up all the hill time. Coming around the corner is gonna be Spades, but oh, he does get the better of one. Thermal is gonna not stop his teammate from dying, but does clear off the point and is now going to be able to get some time off of it himself. He knows that there is somebody in there because he's got some hit marker indicators, but he doesn't quite get his aim down pat. Spades, on the other hand, does go right on in and finish his kill for him, and they're still trying to get on through for these spawns. He does take out the guy in the most dangerous position there, and just like that, the spawns and the hill time are in the hands of Fluid Nation. Yeah, OSGS is off to a little bit of a slower start in the beginning here, but Sora does manage to do a little bit of breaking into the objective. It is quickly shut down by Supremacy, though. And OSGS, again, they are going to be held at a little bit of a distance. They're getting picks here and there, but yeah, that's some bad timing there from J-Daw. Not really much you can do about that. He thought that there was somebody up there. He probably didn't expect the audacious peek as Thermal just piecing two together there. That is pretty dang good. Spades in the meantime, just soaking up the hill time. This man is the sponge, ladies and gentlemen. You see him there. He has the most OBJ time, and that is only going to be increasing as the game goes on. Thermal in a great choke point position here. They're going to have to cross by him in order to get to the next objective, and he does run out of ammo. Very fortuitous for J-Dog God, but very unfortunate for him as he runs right into Spades, who is on a 4 spree here. Just chilling and, again, soaking up all the objective time without really much of a care in the world. His teammates are holding such a high line that that is the only person that has gotten to contest him this entire hill. Good thing for OSGS is the fact that they are currently pent up in this next objective. It's going to be a little bit difficult for Fluid Nation here. It should be a lot more difficult for Spades than it has been so far. He's just going to go right on in here, sees Sora, but Sora does do a little bit better than a lot of people would tee him up to do in that situation. And J-Dog God coming up huge for his team, does completely wipe it clean yet again. He's at very low health, and even that trophy system will kill him if they throw another grenade at him. So he's got to be careful. Oh, he does get a little bit of help there from Triggy. Triggy also going to fall along with him. Lux trying to hold the outside, but a breach has already been made. Sora actually doing a pretty dang good job of holding it down inside. Now, Fluid Nation, regardless of the fact that they haven't really gotten total control over this objective at all, they're still denying a lot of time via the contest for OSGS. So even if they do get a lot of time off of this, and actually they will, they're probably not even going to contest this. Stop contesting this, excuse me. They're probably going to contest it right and through into the end because they have to go through that spot for next anyway. Thermal, he's trying here to get a little bit of a pick on these guys in the back spawns, and you see all of Fluid Nation is descending on this one position. Sora might be able to hold this down a little bit. Obviously not, as Jada and the guys coming up and giving him a little bit of assistance. Point falls neutral, but OSGS have shown that they are not going to sit there and take it from Fluid Nation. They are coming to play, and they are now within, I would argue, striking distance of them. They're just decreasing this lead more and more by the second. They won't surpass them by the end of this rotation, but they'll get themselves into a position where it's just about even standings going into the next one. Sorry about that. Anyways, we are going to be seeing this rotation coming to an end as, yeah, the point falls neutral. That doesn't really matter too much in all honesty. But yeah, Fluid Nation, they are in such a great setup for this next one. Thermal going to be watching not only this hop-up area, but he also can transition to that box heady and just shoot them as they come through the middle. Sora going to be getting up in there, but you see Iz is going to be pretty much in that same spot. And defending Spades, who, again, he is the sponge so far. He's got a minute and 20 seconds so far, but yeah, I don't think he quite realized that he is getting shot in the back here. I don't think he quite cares that he is getting shot in the back there as he kills the guy's center, turns around and kills the guy that's shooting him. But Triggy still there to cause some problems. Also, speaking of causing problems, Izzy right on back and right back on out as... yeah, things are just starting to really hit the fan here for both teams. But Fluid Nation is so far the better of the better beneficiary of this objective here. Lux, I think he thought he killed him there, but he totally didn't because he stopped shooting at him even though he didn't kill him. But regardless, we are going to be seeing Fluid Nation with a modicum of a lead going into the next hill, which they have total control over. Jada getting a little bit of shots in the back, and he does make him pay for it. Speaking of making him pay for it, holy crap, Fluid Nation. They could be in a little bit of trouble here as J-Dog God completely uprooting them from their spawns, and this could be feasting time for OSGS. This is some time that they really needed, that Fluid Nation really needed to go into their hands, and it is totally not. OSGS might actually be able to surpass them here if they can just win a few more gunfights. Is going to be going up top here to try and get a little bit of a different angle of incidence on these guys. Almost fries one, but gets a little bit of help there from Thermal to completely get the objective back into their hands. But look at that lead. It is literally gone now as OSGS. Sora gonna get shot in the back by Is. I keep getting the dying person's perspective, the loser's perspective, but regardless, OSGS now gonna be in the lead. Fluid Nation, that is quite a sizable lead to have lost. They were about 70 points in the lead at one point. I think it was like 70-something to 7. Going into P3 last time, and Fluid Nation, they know that this is going to be where they can really start to pull a lead. They can pull a little bit of a page out of OSGS's book and get a monumentous lead out of this. Lux knows this, and he's going to be trying to make his way on through with some help of J-Dog-God as he takes out Spades on the objective. Lux trying to hit them back out from the spawns, but little does he know that there's literally a guy right next to him. I try to get the over-the-head view, but regardless, the distraction is enough, and Fluid Nation is going to be trying to break back onto the objective after losing a little bit of time, but they gain more than they lose here. They're about to get not only a solid lead, but a good setup for next, as Lux, he's going to try and rain on their parade here a little bit, but gets instantly caught by Thermal, just sitting pretty and ready to deal with him. Now, a little bit of a wonky thing here, as you saw, is that Fluid Nation did get a little bit of a weird spawn out situation. OSGS gonna be getting a little bit of time off this one, and yeah, they do have a good staging point for attacking the next one. Yeah, you see, they have completely taken them off the objective, and they've got the rotation to the objective on lockdown. That is some good stuff from OSGS, but the problem is that it's all well and good to keep your opponents off the objective, but it's only doing you so much good when you can't get the objective yourself. And just like that, Fluid Nation, they catch them at an unopportune time, and they completely kill them off. Gonna be getting at least, I would say, 30 seconds total off this objective. Sora being allowed to get incredibly close, though, but doesn't manage to do more than scratch at Spades, who is at 18 and 15 right now with just over 2 minutes at hill time. Pretty dang incredible for him right now. This man is absolutely fearless. And you see, he's actually starting to push up and go for next here as he does completely fry J-Dog in the face. 20 health remaining, and he is still moving on through. Yeah, Lux is in a really tough position. He's got to keep these spawns, but he's being shelled from multiple angles. Does take down one. And yeah, the spawn flip has already come out, but it flips right on back, actually. Thermal going to be ripping him out of that. Might cause spawns to flip back yet again. And this is going to be a little bit of a rough situation here. You see, Luxy did not have the misfortune of flipping out the spawns, so he's going to go right back to where he was at before. He's going to be shooting one right in the face, but J-Dog-God does give him a little bit of assistance there. A lot of deaths coming in for OSGS, and yeah, they're starting to really lose the plot here. I'm going to be totally honest. They went from being 1 point in the lead to about 60 points behind as Fluid Nation are turning it up to 11 right now. Jeez. Yeah, Sora and the guys are just trying to throw their bodies at a problem, but yeah, throwing your bodies at the problem isn't going to fix it. You have to be getting kills, as well as Lux does. He stems the flow just a little bit, but Fluid Nation, all they really need is about 20 more seconds, which they have ample time to get here, and a great setup for that too. Only potential thorn in the side here could be Sora. He's going to run right into Supremacy, and Supremacy eats him alive. Same thing with J-Dog-God, as things are starting to look a little bit not so good for an end for OSGS. All dead, and that is going to be leading them to not be able to contest this before the game ends. Perfect victory by literally a perfect 100 points there by good old Fluid Nation. Now we see Spades getting these solid kills here. You saw him on the objective, but you also saw him, well, getting all the hill time, but you also saw him on that final kill cam getting just, I guess you could say, the kills to pay the bills as well. I mean, it's sometimes, yeah, it's always a good thing to have your objective player be able to kill people too, and he has shown that he is able to do both of those things just fine. So next up is going to be Garrison on Search and Destroy. I know that the Fluid Gaming A team is very accomplished at Search and Destroy, and if I had to guess, they probably scrim with their brother team here just to make them, keep them up to par with the other teams that they're going to have to go up against. Team Scrim's probably a regular for these guys. If I had to guess. But yeah, it appears that I am getting an invite to this next one, and they're pretty much rearing and ready to go, which is a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very good thing. The lobby has still got a little bit of ways to go, so let's talk a little bit about Garrison here, guys. Garrison is, for those of you guys that are not all in depth in the meta, maybe you're a casual player, maybe you guys want to learn a little bit more about the map, who knows? It's probably a little bit more intricate than your average Search and Destroy map, let's be honest. There are a lot of lanes and sub-lanes to those lanes. Like there's what they call the underground or vent area. And you can sometimes see up to 2 people stacking it with subs just because it gives you such a good opportunity to plant on that bomb site. And yeah, there are also really good positions where you can put snipers. The defensive side is probably a little bit more attuned for snipers. I don't know if these guys are going to be playing with the new Sniper and Smoke GA. I know that it goes into effect in the rules for the league tomorrow, but they can play with it if they do so decide. So I don't know what the decision has been made between these teams on that. They did not let me know that. They only let me know the maps. Maybe they don't even know themselves. But anyways, my dudes, we are going to be getting right on back to our talking points on Garrison. The Smoke GA, it does kind of limit some of the strategies you can do here that were a little bit smoke dependent. Like just running right down the middle of the map, smoking out the side, well, the line of sight that the sniper has on mid, which is another thing that you really got to watch out for, is a sniper in the defender's spawn watching over mid, cutting off your rotations between the bomb sites. It is not something you want to have to deal with. It can be incredibly difficult, especially when you pen them into one little corner of the map. You basically make them have to push into lights, which is probably going to be covered by someone else. Yeah, what I'm saying here, ladies and gentlemen, is that this map on Search and Destroy, in theory, can be very defender-sided, especially without smokes. But there are a lot of things you can do on the attacker side to make that go into your favor. You just have to play it a little bit smarter. In theory, it is very defender-sided, but the attackers can do a lot of things still to get their point across. Regardless, we are going to be just waiting for everyone to get up in here. And while we do that, I am going to be cutting us to a little bit of a break. We're waiting on 2 more players to hop on in here, my dudes. And until then, we are going to be hopping out to a little bit of a silent break. I don't want to play any music because I'm worried about copyright and stuff like that. It's pretty lame, but I get it at the same time. So yeah, if you guys want, you guys can just, press open another tab, watch something else, and as soon as the game comes right on back, you guys will hear a little bit of audio cue in your ear. You'll be like, oh, hey, that's Comica talking. I think the game's back on. So yeah, I will be back as soon as the game is back, so don't go anywhere. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with some more WWL match. It's going to be Fluid Nation versus OSGS. In case you guys did miss the first round, as you see on the scoreboard below, it was a Fluid Nation victory, 250 to 150 exactly. And we are now in with round 2 on Search and Destroy, which is taking place in the confines of Garrison. OSGS going to be on the attack first. As we just got done saying, there is a potential for this being very defender side without the smoke GA. News on that is they are agreeing to use the no sniper, no smoke GAs that are in place right now. And he is going to be catching one unprepared, but oh, they got to run up and get Spades quick because he's now got the bomb and he's low health. Now is not a better opportunity for this. Yeah, doggone, he's going to be pre-firing him, but Spades knows he is there and he totally frags him out. That was a little bit of a rough one there from them as Triggy all by himself up against 3 people. And Thermal going to be in a prime position to take him down mid-map. So yeah, thing I was talking about with the sniper, a little bit out the window, but it still is a little bit relevant because you can still hold that angle, the same angle from closer with the Krig 6 as Supremacy just showed there. Totally heard him pick up the bomb there, I guess, as Spades turned the corner and just absolutely frying J-Dog in the vent. It's a massacre in the vents in round number 1 as 4 kills coming out. Well, 2 for Thermal and 2 for Spades, as only 1 coming out from Lux, killing a single player in the vents, but 2 of his players falling right there next to him. So yeah, Fluid going to be trying to exercise some muscle on the attack here. Bomb going separate from the rest of the team. They're throwing a little bit of stuns to get some checks going on here, pre-nading a lot of positions here, and he does get some intel that there was a guy there in that common spot. Yeah, he's using his stun to check green, but there is not a guy in a position where he can get hit by the flash. Oh, look at this. Look at this from J-Dog. God, he is so primed and ready if they do decide to go this way. Doesn't look like they are, though, as Fluid Nation do kind of rotate across. Triggy, you see, he's in the back of the map on that tank using the Krig 6, but yep, just as I'm done mentioning him, J-Dog does totally take out Supremacy, and Triggy takes down another one on top of that, so is gonna be a little bit by himself, gets literally shot ablaze with bullets. Only one that can probably help him here is Spades, and he is trying to watch a common angle with him. But J-Dog, he's going to be hopping out any second now. I can only imagine. Yeah, springing into action as soon as he sees that his teammate's in trouble. And that is bombed down. Spades, solo, dolo going up against basically the entire OSGS team. I think it was actually the entire OSGS team. But yeah, J-Dog coming out, knowing when the Chow probably calling him out. Oh, he's weak, he's weak. And yeah, he totally was weak. Completely finished him off there expertly. Yeah, Sora apparently the only one dying in that last round. It was actually a 3v1, so. Yeah, Lux gonna be with the bomb now. I doubt they're gonna be trying to go so audaciously for the vent this time. Or maybe he is. Maybe he just didn't think he rushed it fast enough. Yeah, you see he's kind of pre-aiming it, trying to get someone to overextend from Fluid Nation, as you see here. J-Dog does have a little bit of control over the bridge here, but stun check going to be letting him know that he is there. They're watching his angles of exit. And Thermal, he's kind of getting a little bit of ants in the pants here. You can tell that he's not totally confident in the angle he's chosen for himself. Does get a little bit of hits off on J-Dog, trying to follow it up with a grenade, but unfortunately for him, it does not connect. J-Dog got 2 guys in the vents, going to be trying to go for Thermal across the way. As Triggy trying to come in for the vents does get absolutely fried. Same thing happens to Lux. Yeah, that is total vent control. They try to pinch it out together, but they're doing the double sub in the vent strat you see here is and Spade, one watching either entrance. So now J-Daw has to do it solo. Solo dolo here. He's got Thermal pretty much on a silver platter for himself here. He's going to try and catch one out. He does totally get Spades out, but he still does have another one to deal with here. Got to hurry this one up. He's pretty much gonna have to go for kills at this point. Supremacy there for him on a silver platter, and is literally right beneath him. He's gonna totally see him, but gets shot right in the mouth. Unfortunate for him. OSGS almost let back into the game by some not so fortuitous positioning for the Fluid Nation guys. Almost got pieced together very, very quickly. Although they were close together because they wanted to be able to help each other out if things did not go their way. that also does not lead to a very good outcome if you're trying to play for time at this point. Potentially, but obviously they did have the guy in the vents is just holding it down like an absolute champion. Hitting headshots when he absolutely needs to. Relatively close game here in the Search and Destroy, as it looks like Fluid Nation trying to go balls to the walls in for green, and J-Dog-God, he's like, it's my time, my turn, I'm gonna get some of the action here, but it looks like he's actually gotten some of the action already. Hits somebody with a stun grenade, quite literally, hits another one with his bullets, and just like that, Supremacy is the only one left. He's running right into the path of another one. Great pinch from OSGS, as the take on green falls absolutely flat in its tracks for Fluid Nation. Yeah, J-Dog-God actually been getting quite a little bit of the action here. If you guys want to see all the damage numbers in that, holy mackerel. He's got almost quadruple damage of some of the other players, and in fact, he has 10 times the damage of Supremacy. That is pretty dang incredible. This guy's been getting a lot of the action, but from here, it looks like is going to be trying to get a little bit of the action for himself. He's going to be seeing Triggy, but gets shot a little bit too many times for his liking. Supremacy going to be doubling his damage since the start of the round and taking down, I believe, yes, Lux. Getting on that very not nice heady here, preventing anyone from coming in here after what appears to be the bomb. Yes, indeed, the bomb is down basically right in front of his face. Don't know if he quite saw it, but his position is leading me to believe that he knows what he has here. J-Dog-God gonna be trying to come up from green. They don't really have too much inroads here. They're gonna have to take a gunfight regardless. Thermal gonna be right around the corner. Getting a little bit impatient. You see he's standing up. Probably go. Yeah, he's crouched right back down again. Does get the better of his opponent, who was not at all ready for that. And I think he turned the corner and killed the other one, but I'm pretty sure we will see the replay on that if he did do that. It doesn't appear that it was actually him, and Spades actually got him on the run up to him, just triple headshotting him there. Quite incredible. This man hits only headshots. Thermal. Yeah, now I'm kind of curious to see the damage numbers now after that round. You see Spades and Thermal really starting to catch up there with J-Dog-God, even though, yeah, Spades has about even kills, and excuse me, Thermal does not have as many kills. He's been more of an assist guy, you know what I'm saying? Been teeing up his opponents to get... teeing up his teammates to get the kills. You don't want to tee up your opponents to get the kills, but... Obviously, they do take down Sora, who is their guy watching the inside rotation. Not so good for them, but they do still have a modicum of control over the A site from Vent. But they're not, don't seem to be going that way, as Is now has more or less control over lights. J-Dog-God has been kind of forced to play multiple angles here because, yeah, he has to watch the plant on A, especially now that he has just lost a teammate. There is trying to go for the plant here, but realizes it is a hot plant. Gonna have to get on out of there. Playing it safe as his teammates come to his aid. Very, very timely, in a very timely manner, excuse me. Triggy gonna be called on over to B. They're like, yeah, we know that you went over to B, so we're just gonna go for the plant on A. Triggy is still none the wiser. He doesn't know that this rotation has happened until just now, as the bomb is planted. I think he's feeling himself right now. They're thinking about just going in for the charge in to take him down. They gotta make sure that they don't overextend from the bomb site too much, obviously, because there's the threat of the ninja defuse. They also gotta make sure that they don't spread out too much from each other, because that could lead Triggy to do 2 individual 1v1s instead of a 1v2. Yeah, you see they're watching different sight lines here, and that's not really helping their cause, but he does have a perfect line of sight on where the bomb is here. As you can see, Supremacy is coming on in here, and he does get the better of a very, very confused opponent. I mean, yeah, Triggy, that would have been a tough round for him to do regardless. The man, he would have had to quite literally get the ace there, which is a position you should never really be put in as a player. You should never have to get the ace to win. But yeah, That is a little bit of tough times there for OSG. We are going to be at about the halfway point here. This is a round that could be seriously this could be a serious turning point for either team. Could either give OSG the confidence at the halfway point to keep this going, but it will completely and utterly deflate them if they don't at the same time. It'll literally put Fluid Nation at 1 away from victory, where OSG will have to win 4 in a row. So this is a pretty big round for OSG mathematically. Oh, that is a good attempt there, but gets shot right in the face by Spades. The man is now 10-4. Holy crap. As Thermal takes down J-Dog. God, man, these guys are just getting absolutely pieced together. That one did not work out at all. Fluid Nation, they're reading their opponents like a book. They know, hey, they haven't been having too much luck in going for the other objective. They've usually been going for this one, so let's just get the crosses down on it really hard. OSGS probably feeling the pressure to make a little bit of moves here, taking some peeks that did end up in their deaths. That maybe if they were, I don't know, maybe if they were feeling a little bit more less under pressure, they might not have tried to go for. They were playing a little bit risky in that last round, but I mean, you have to play a little bit risky when you're down that far a little bit. You got to make something happen. Take your opponent by surprise because the status quo is not really working out. Triggy is going to get taken down, but Lux does get a solid trade. Oh, that is not very good. Sora there gets absolutely pieced from a distance. Lux knows that he is generally there, but got a guy behind him. He gets absolutely pinched out. This could be a very, very tough finish for OSGS. Got one right above him. Totally finds Supremacy as the other guys are nowhere near him. That is a little bit of a needless death there from Supremacy. And if J-Dog God does get allowed back into this game, that will be a serious question of if he... Well, we'll put that question to the side here. Oh, but it is going to be so important as Spades does get absolutely pieced by J-Dog God. He might be trying to live up to the name here. He's got plenty of time to find Iz, and he is just trying to play his life here. He's 4-4 right now, and J-Dog God, he knows what is up against him right now. J-Dog is checking the vents, and he might, yeah, he's going to see Iz just in time. Iz trying to put him off. Did he in time? Dude, you got to go for the defuse. I think, yes, he did just get it. Holy freaking mackerel. That is just barely enough time for this man to defuse. Yes, 2.2 seconds remaining. OSG clutching that one up, but it should not have ever been that close. I gotta be honest, Supremacy, although it probably won't mean a lot in the long run because Fluid Nation is very teed up in a position to win this, that round could have easily been finished off very quickly if he had just stuck with the rest of his teammates and instead of just trying to push up for extra kills. The stat pads, it ended up hurting his stats more than it helped them. And OSGS were allowed back in as a result. So J-Dog God, holy mackerel, regardless of what I just said, it takes an incredible person to do something like that. So regardless of the fact of how Fluid Nation played that, he played that incredibly, incredibly well. Throwing out a little bit of a flash grenade, going for a little bit of a flash check as they do take down Thermal in the middle of the map. Mid-map pretty much more or less clear. As, yeah, they do have one guy inside of lights here. That is going to be Iz inside of the lights area. So yeah, mid-map kind of clear, but Iz is still going to be in a position where he can stop them at the halfway point. Supremacy still got total control over a push from green, so yeah, Fluid Nation adapting very, very well as they get a counter pick going on here. Supremacy, he's teed up very nicely himself to get a kill here if they do come this way, and it looks like J-Daw is kind of wary of the fact that Iz is back there. Picks up an AR from his dead teammate and puts a few shots on Iz, but Iz is going to be getting pieced from a distance. Spades popping up and running back on away as he gets his kill. He's going to try and come up around the back of them now, but oh, Supremacy. He knows that they might be going for A now, so he's going to take a little bit of a peek-see here. Sora going down with the bomb. Tree got to pick it up and plant it instantly, and he is out of freaking time to plant the bomb. He's got to go for the kill, but the kill finds him instead as Fluid Nation does finish this one off. I mean, despite the fact that he did not live to see the fruition of his labors, main man is, he did an incredible bit of work in that round, not only to just delay their opponent's push, but also to get the trade on the death that they took early on. That just evened things out for the rest of that round. And not just that, but the time that he delayed by making his opponents just a little bit unsure of themselves yet again. That's been a common theme, is that Fluid Nation just seems a little bit more sure of themselves than OSGS, especially after that first round defeat that OSGS received. The only one that's playing with total confidence at this point, and not, I would say, overconfidence in a bad way, is probably J-Dog-God. He's been doing just incredible things, and from what I've seen, he has the most confidence on his team, and it's very much not poorly placed. He has a right to feel confident in himself. He literally clutched around more or less 3v1. So, man has a right to be confident in himself, but only can do so much as a solo person, and you can only pull that out so many times, as Fluid Nation does put together another round win to make it 2 in the series tonight. Next map going to be Garrison yet again, and we are setting up the lobby for that right now. I would say that this is probably the most likely map that a team wins an offense on in the current map selection. So, yeah, who knows? I think it's going to be pretty even for both teams, but from what I've seen so far, I think Fluid Nation probably edges it out just a little bit because of, 1, the confidence factor, and 2, the comfortability factor on this map in general. So, yeah, I would say that some of the players on OSGS have been even in terms of slaying ability with the Fluid Nation guys. It was probably just about even between those guys, and sometimes J-Dog-God was even surpassing the ability of some of the Fluid Nation players. But some of the OSGS guys have been a little bit not so on point with, I don't think it's their aim. I think it's just their positioning. They just seem to be getting caught out at bad times and just throwing their lives away, at least in the hardpoint, needlessly. And I guess you could say also in the search and destroy. They were taking a lot of challenges that were very high risk, high reward, and 9 times out of 10 it did not go very well for them. So maybe just trying to play a little bit more passive when they can, I would say, especially on the defense. There were a lot of challenges that they were making on the defense that they didn't really need to take, in my personal opinion, and I think that's grounded in a lot of objectivity based on what we saw. Early on in the round, one thing I saw in particular was there was a guy in the box heady over by usually where P5 is on that map. He went and challenged the guy on caution, which is a very hard thing to do because your body is pretty much totally exposed and he is totally not. So I think that was a challenge that he was better off not making, to be totally honest with you. And that is kind of emblematic of a lot of the things I saw there from some of OSG's players. I think that is a good fix for them, is to try and play a little bit more passively, because I get that engagements matter, and in theory, the more engagements you get, the more you win, but that's not always the case. You sometimes have to be a little bit more picky and choosy about the engagements you get, because sometimes the best way to win a game is to not even fight the enemy team at all, because if they get a pick, they're going to rush in, but if they don't, they are going to continue to play passive. So obviously, playing passive is only going to help OSG so much, but we'll see how they can piece it together now as they're on the defensive side. A little bit of a rough start there from Triggy as he is rammed off his heady by Iz, but that doesn't seem to have gotten their opponents too much ground, except for Spades, who is running right up behind them on A, but doesn't do too much with it. On the inverse, it appears that the rest of the OSG guys have been completely taken off of B. Is still going for some challenges on Triggy as he tees up his friend Supremacy. Get another one, as mid-map is more or less wide open for Fluid Nation to go on into. Yeah, you see they're power burning this objective just to get that time going as much as possible. Another thing, that OSG has to be a little bit conscientious of is how many deaths they're taking right now. They are at a 4 death deficit to Fluid Nation right now. And that is not something you want to have, especially going into next. And yeah, they're kind of just, I don't know, I feel like they feel that they have to prove themselves by just running on into the gunfights here, but they kind of gave away all of their positioning, and now Fluid Nation is just running right on into A for free. Sora on the objective all by himself, got a guy right behind him, and yeah, there is nobody on the objective or near the objective for OSG, but there is for Fluid Nation. Yeah, I'm sensing a lot of frustration coming out from the OSG guys, as they seem to be taking a lot of unnecessary challenges, I'll put it at that. Leaving themselves without a lot of positioning that Fluid Nation has easily ran up into with the lack of OSG guys being there since they all ran up and died. So, yeah, Sora coming on in here, trying to do a little bit of something, does get him off the objective basically in the nick of time, but they've still got a lot of, you know, time to go, and a lot of lives to waste. They're going to be getting rid of quite a few trophy systems and putting down one of their own. But yeah, Fluid Nation, they've still got that mid-map on lockdown, and in fact, they're going for even more kills. Supremacy just running amok in the spawn, frying multiple people. Well, just one on that life, but you see, by and far, he's gotten a lot of kills, and that has not allowed OSG to get back into the objective in time, just because it had a little bit of a trickle effect where they couldn't push back in with their full might because he had pretty much 2 dudes trapped behind there, which is half the team, and the other 3/4 of his team were capping up the objective. So that's some good stalling tactics from Fluid Nation. And it's not just for the sake of stalling, they are also getting kills which could, if it's necessary, get them the final defensive round. But they've done even more than that now. They have won themselves an offensive round, which is going to force OSGS to do the exact same thing on the attack pretty much right now. Yeah, they pretty much got to win this attack. Otherwise, they're going to be sitting very far back. They've got to win an attack eventually. So, Spades just feeling absolutely emboldened by how they've been playing the game so far, running right down the middle of the map and killing the guy on Tank Heady. J-Dog-God sitting in a corner and does get shot in that corner. Spades just feeling ever so emboldened to run on in and just throw a grenade. Explodes in his face, obviously, but yeah, definitely not feeling a lot of the pressure here, Fluid Gaming, and I don't know, OSG should, in theory, be making them pay for a couple of these positions that they've run up into, but Spades has just been doing a nice little job here. Triggy does catch him out of position, and now they might be able to make him pay for it a little bit more. Throwing a little bit of a flash grenade up in there, and yeah, is going to be biting off a little bit more than he can chew as well. So now OSG going to be potentially able to push back on in here if they are bold enough to do it. Now they're going to be running right on into Spades as he tries to get back into his position desperately, and he does manage to get the better of his opponent in that situation. Luck's going to know that there is someone up there, but not really in a position to deal with it. All by himself, dying alone as his teammates are still respawning. A lot of disjointed assaults coming in from OSGS, leading to a lot of deaths. Yeah, starting to run out of time. Should probably start contesting the objective, but yeah, they are going to get a little bit shot down in the middle of the map yet again. The only one that can possibly get to the objective to contest it in time is Luxy. But yeah, he's going to have to win a 1v2, which is, in fairness to him, very hard. So Fluid Nation winning yet another defense makes things even tougher for OSGS now. Yeah, you see Supremacy just running up with absolutely no fear in his mind. I think he just feels not just like he can get away with it, but like, yeah, I think he just feels that he is just overall better than his opponents. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier about the confidence factor. Fluid Nation is playing with a lot more confidence, and they just seem to be catching OSG in positions that they are not ready for, and in turn, OSGS seems to be losing a little bit of confidence here of their own. Maybe letting it get to them a little bit and making a little bit of challenges that aren't necessarily the best. OSGS, they're going to be getting a little bit focused up in green. They're going to be knowing that he's weak, but this good flank from Triggy is going to so far prevent a push from going up in there. Thermal is going to swiftly deal with him, though, as now J-Dog-God, hungry to get more kills next to his name, does go up and shot punch Thermal. Very nice, but Spades capping the objective, going to be weakening up J-Daw, and is coming up to get the finish. They now have control over green and bridge and potentially A if they want it, but they're focusing on getting the full take on B. Is going to probably see that A has a person on it. He's going to go right on in and take down Triggy. Very, very nice. He is just forcing OSGS to not be able to push on in, and he is keeping the window open, or at least he was keeping the window open for a rotation for his team at the end of that. Now, the good thing for OSGS here is that mid is more or less wide open with half the team dying on the other side. But yeah, Fluid Nation, each picking a corner to watch, each picking an angle of incidence to watch. Very smart on their part. But Triggy is going to piece two together. Very, very good for him. And Spades, man, is starting to make some plays here. He is all by himself, but he is still making some solid plays at delaying the push back in and overrunning of the A objective for Fluid Gaming. And yeah, he's just going to go right on into the spawn. Does take down one, but that lets him know that there is only Sora here. But only Sora does do a little bit of something at delaying the Fluid Nation push, as J-Dog gets up and gives him some assistance as well. I love this spot from J-Dog. This is such a dirty position that I don't know if they can really take. It's obviously not an easy position to take someone off of, as he's starting to get pushed in on here. Supremacy, yeah, they have mid control over the map. They're allowed to pretty much push into their spawn at will and into their little wine cellar area here as well. Supremacy gonna be solo capping the objective right now. They could cap it a lot faster if is hopped off the head glitch, but he is providing good value of his own by getting all these kills. He is 20 and 10 right now. Pretty dang incredible for only 3 rounds of play, almost 3 rounds of play in the book so far. And with only a few lives remaining, Sora and the guys are like, yeah, we're in a tough position here. Sora, he's like, yeah, we got to go and get some mid-map positioning here. He does get one. Is going to turn around just in time. Help from Thermal. Going to be seeing Sora to his grave. And just like that, OSGS are out of respawns. This is their last lives. And Fluid Nation, they know this. They have plenty of time as well. They're going to be waiting for somebody to push on in here. J-Daw almost dying. Thermal taking down one, but another going down as a result from Supremacy. And things are not looking good as Triggy is last alive, no longer alive. And now Fluid Nation taking not just the Series 3-0, but the map 3-0 as well. I mean, there's not really much else to say other than Fluid Nation, they played with confidence, they played with tact, they played it very smart, and they supplemented that with some very good gun skill and hitting up the shots where, I don't know, a couple of those things OSGS was missing, and it led to their eventual downfall tonight at the hands of Fluid Nation. So, yeah, Fluid Nation going to be knocking OSGS down to the losers bracket, but hey, it's not all done yet for OSGS. They've still got the losers bracket run to do, and let me see if I can see who they'll be fighting next. They are in Group 6. So that means they will be fighting up against Shinobi. I think that is Shinobi Uprising. I'm not quite sure. Let me see what Shinobi's record was in the regular season real quick. Shinobi, where are they at? Shinobi. They were 6-2 in their group as well. So that definitely is, in theory, a little bit more of a even closer game. I mean, Fluid Nation, they had only won one more game than OSGS. So in theory, it should have been very close, but I guess you can't really tell closeness based on teams' records. A lot of things do come into account, like who was in their group, all that stuff. But yeah, they will be fighting Shinobi next in the losers bracket. Don't know when that will be, but you guys can always check out the WWL League Twitter to find that out, I'm sure. But yeah, in case you guys did just tune in on the live stream, yeah, you missed it. Unfortunately, you guys can go back and watch the VOD if you want. It'll be live as soon as the stream ends. And in case you guys are here after the stream, then thank you so much for watching this match to its fruition. And I highly encourage you guys, if you want to see some more, to subscribe, and not just that, but follow me on Twitter. It greatly not only helps me out, but if you guys want to see some awesome matches and some content, you guys can go and check it out on there. I'm following back, so if you guys, yeah, that's another good incentive to follow on Twitter. But don't just follow me, guys. Go ahead and follow WWL League, WWL_League, because they're our gracious hosts of this event, and they do a very good job of putting it on. And go and give some love to the owners of Fluid Nation and Fluid Gaming. I think it's Fluid Gaming FG That's their ad on Twitter. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but yeah, OSGS GG on Twitter. Go and give them all some love because they all deserve it equally. They all deserve some love because of, you know, everybody needs a little bit of love in their life, especially from random strangers on the internet. So, yeah, anyways, guys, that is going to be it for me tonight. I really appreciate you guys for coming on out and watching live and after the game is already done.